It is 2 a.m. I just spent the past few hours recording a podcast episode on the Truly Daebak YouTube channel, so if you are interested in hearing my thoughts on the comebacks of CLC, Yua, Ghostnine, Everglow, Wano, and Blackpink, feel free to check that out. I go into a lot more detail, and it was a fun time. I definitely have been drinking. Link in the description of the video if you want to check that out. But now, the Antihaul. Oh, hi! Hello and welcome to my channel. It is time for my Antihaul. I do this every month where I talk about all the releases from the past month, and specifically the releases that I'm not buying, and kind of go into some detail of why I'm not buying them, because so often in K-pop, with watching YouTube channels, you see a lot of collectors buy these albums that you may not have normally wanted to buy, but because you're seeing so many people buy them, you feel like you want to buy them. And now I'm here to just talk about why I'm actually not going to buy them. It's really more for myself. Might convince you as well to not buy these albums, and it could be fun. I don't know. We might have similar opinions on things. It is in no way to be like hateful or be like,
this group sucks, that's why I'm not gonna buy their album.
Sometimes I get really conflicted. Like, is that album really gonna make me happier at the end of the day? It is not to shame you if you want to buy these things, so please don't shame me for not wanting to buy these things. It is all our own money. We can do what we want with it. I feel like it's been a while since I've described what an anti-haul is at the beginning of my video. Today's drink of choice is a Sutter Home Moscato. And yes, I have been drinking this today. So that's where I'm at right now. And we're going to keep going. So I'll start by listing off releases from this month that I actually end up buying, just so you know I'm not going to end up talking about these later on in the video. So I ordered CLC Helicopter. I bought 2 copies of this. One of them from Makestar in the hope that I would get a video call, which I did not get. I bought Yua Bon Voyage. I bought 3 copies of this, 2 of these from Makestar, hoping to get a video call, which I did not get. I bought Stray Kids in Life, the repackaged album. I bought 1 version, and it was the orange version, which normally I buy the limited version, which would have been my intention. Like, I would have bought that, but it was like kind of sold out when I went to buy this, and I love orange, so I'm buying the orange version. From Ghostnine, My Little Society. I bought both versions of this, of course. The Boys, Chase. I bought 1 version of that. Everglow, negative 77.82x-78.29. I bought 1 version and I bought 1 version and an M-Wave signed version. And it is signed by all members. And then finally, I bought Signatures Listen and Speak, and there was only 1 version of this, and I only bought 1 copy. Now that we're up to speed, let's get started. I have acid reflux, so all this alcohol is getting me choked up. Starting off the month with Lovely's Unforgettable. And, you know, I feel like there's such an easy, like, kind of joke with it being called Unforgettable. I mean, I do remember it, so I guess it's unforgettable, but, like, I feel like I could have been like, honestly, I forget it. That wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. I appreciate the concept change. Lovely's. It's refreshing. It's a kind of about time. I do think the title track is a bit of an IZ*ONE attempt, and it wasn't quite at the same level, but I do appreciate it. Dreamin' a Dream is such a great B-side, and if there was any song to listen to from that release, it is that. Overall, I do like the release, but I do not collect Lovely's, and I want to like Lovely's a lot more than I do. because they kind of fit a concept that you would think I'd really like, since I love Oh My Girl, I love WJSN. They normally get grouped with those two groups. I don't quite mesh with Lovelies because I don't have this kind of collection going. I think if I was in a different state financially, I probably would have bought it to kind of support this concept change, but it's not there for me. So we're gonna pass. I don't have my tambourine with me, but I have a light stick. So this is gonna be my interlude. We're switching. We're going to the next song. Ace HJZM The Butterfly Fantasy. Can I just say this photo book is absolutely gorgeous, and possibly the most gorgeous photo book of the year and maybe ever. I highly considered buying this just because of how fantastic this photo book concept is. Now, in regards to the album, the first two songs, great. The rest of that, I don't know why they decided to make those slower. Really loses the hype. If this had just been a hype EP, I would have bought this. But 2 out of the 5 songs isn't quite enough for me. As well as, I don't collect Ace. I have one Ace album, and funny enough, I just found out that album sells for like $100 on eBay, so wow. Ace sells for quite a bit. I don't think it's, it doesn't, I don't have, I've been in a tight spot financially, which may not be quite evident if you see what I end up buying on my channel. I still spend a lot of money, but I have to make the cuts where I do, and this has to be one of them, unfortunately. So here we are. Lunar Solar Flare. This is a new girl group. I love new girl groups, especially when they're new goo. However, not my favorite from the year. This is a single album, so there's only one song, and I do not particularly like buying albums with one song on them. If it had 5 songs on it, it'd be the same. I'd do the same thing. I would just leave it on my shelf. But I can feel like I can justify it a little more if it has more songs. When there's just one song, it hurts me a little bit. This isn't one of my favorite debuts of the year. I think these girls have potential, but were given the wrong kind of song. And I really hope they can have a comeback and not go, like, just put out the kind of music that fits them. Don't try to put out a song that you think is trendy and hip. I don't know. What do I know? Super Junior DNE Bad Blood / Bad Liar, because they somehow also released the repackaged special album within the same month, which is pretty impressive. Now, I am no fan of Super Juniors, especially Super Junior DNE. Super Junior is before my time. Super Junior DNE is a little too much for me. I feel like recently I've just kind of had this running meme in my head of just like how Super Junior, they're old, you know, they've been around a while, and I feel like they're still trying to act like they're still 17 in some of the concept choices, and I think it's a little weird, and I don't quite like it. I don't know if this is actually relevant with anything. I just felt like I had to get that out there. This is possibly my favorite of Super Junior DNE's work. Their past few stuff has been not up my alley, but this was actually pretty good. I thought Contact was a pretty good song. I'm a huge fan of SM groups, and for some reason Super Junior's always not quite been able to mesh with me, and this had some moments of like, yeah, that's that SM sound I like. I will say this one song on the album was the highlight of my entire Antihaul listening. It was the bonus track with Shindong called What Is Your Name? and it had me screaming. It's so clearly like a meme song, but they're trying to be sexy and it's funny. Like, it gave me Flight of the Conchord vibes, and I love Flight of the Conchords, and it was so fun. I was dying. I was crying. It was so funny. And I wish they would just go that route of just being campy and just funny. It was so good. I'm still not gonna buy it. Yeah. I don't know if you can tell. This is a Sailor Moon light stick. See that? See that? See? That's Sailor Moon, Mercury, Jupiter. Yeah. Oh my god, I have so many thoughts on this next one. No. Wano, love synonym. Love synonym number 1, right for me. Okay. I'm putting the book. Notes are down. I'm gonna take a... Open Mind is such a great song, and it is one of my favorite songs of the year. The English version is one of the sexiest things I have ever listened to in my life. Oh dear. I am not a Monsta X fan. I was never Wano biased in any way, but oh my god. I am so attracted to this man now, and I don't know what's come over me. This song is just fantastic. The music video is... I fully support his solo career, and I want to buy his album so much. But one thing, it's a pouch, which I've talked about pouch albums. They hit a nerve in me, and I can't. The second thing is, what are these photo book concepts? The music video has such a good concept. Like, he's just sexy. I don't know. Like, the black sweater that, like, zipped and you see his abs. Like, that is such fashion. Why isn't that a photo book concept? He's just, like, soft on the beach. And, like, it's cute. But why is... There's 3 versions. Why are they all just the same concept? Give me variety. That was so demanding and so rude. Wano, you can do whatever you feel comfortable doing. I would have, hands down, easily bought this if it was a normal book packaging and had the concept of the music video. But decisions were made, and I'm so sad. Like, normally I can be kind of happy to save the money of not buying an album, but I'm like actually fuming of like, I really wanted to get this, but the actual product itself isn't something I particularly am crazy about. But you know, going back to the album, I also am a huge fan of, what is it? With You. He should keep doing that style of just like sexy club kind of music. Open Mind is a masterpiece. Another good one. Taemin, Never Gonna Dance Again, Act 1. Okay. I know what you're thinking. Oh my god, you're not buying Taemin's album? Here's the thing. I know SM. It's also called Act 1, so I know where this is going. I know we're getting some kind of repackage, or if it's a series, then we get like the 3rd whole... There's more to this. I'm not spending the money on this knowing there's gonna be more, but we're still gonna get this again, which is a little bit more. I'm waiting. I'm holding off. This is one of the best albums of the year. I love Taemin. I buy his albums, but I'm waiting. I will buy some Taemin thing, whatever the final product of all of this is. I just don't want to end up spending twice as much as I know I would have bought. Like, yeah, I'm gonna wait it. I'm gonna wait it out. And if for some reason we never get our Act 2, then I guess I'll just go back and buy the Act 1. Kim Namju Bird. She is a member of A-Pink. She had her solo debut. It was fine. Unfortunately, she came out on the same day as Taemin and Yua, so obviously my priorities were elsewhere. Also, this was one song, and there are two versions. What's worse than just a single album? An album that has only one song on it? When they had two versions of it. So, yeah, I can't buy this. And also, I do not collect A-Pink. I own one A-Pink album because they had my favorite song of the year in 2019 with Ung. So it almost felt like I had to buy it, right? There's like a meaning behind it. Moonbin and Sana from Astro. In and out, or just in out. I do not own a single Astro anything. I do not plan on necessarily getting any Astro related stuff now. They have not gone a direction that appeals to me. I really liked their bathing stuff when they had like the cute concepts, because that is what I like. If you've seen my previous videos, you would know that's up my alley. The stuff they've been putting out, it's not something that really sticks with me. I understand there are people who really love Astro and they really think that they're putting out this great music. And you know what? Support them. Like, please. It's so frustrating to me of like, every time Astro releases something, I always am like, okay, I want to like this. This is going to be like my first Astro thing I'm going to buy. And it never ends up quite being that. It's never something that makes me feel like, okay, like this was like phenomenal. I have to buy it. And yeah, once again, this kind of ends up in the same category. I will say Bad Idea I thought was good. I can't remember if that was the title or like a main B-side, but I did enjoy that. I do kind of have this problem of not remembering Astro albums after I buy them, and that's never really a good sign. That's never something you should really feel when you buy an album, that you can't remember it. I feel like I like to have some sort of special connection with my albums or some memory with it. So, yeah. VAV Made for Two. This is another group I've never bought an album from. It is not for me. I don't plan on listening to this again, and I don't have much more else to talk about, so let's move on. BOI Phase 2 We, or Boy, or was it Be On You? No, that's not right. Because of You, I don't remember what BOI stands for. I totally forget who these guys are. I think they're X1 related or produce X101. Honestly, all of those guys are a blur to me at this point, because there's been so many of them this year. And normally there's like a phase of like, you know, X1 happens and I can kind of know the members, and then all the groups come out, but it all just came out in one punch. So I apologize for not knowing X1 people. This has an R&B feel, if that is what you're into. That is not what I particularly enjoy when I listen to K-pop. I am all about the campiness of K-pop, the whole glitz and glam shebang. Give me just in my face K-pop. But I can see why people would like this. This just, however, is not something that I see in my collection, so I will not be getting it. Higher Music Blue Tape. So this release also includes Red Tape, I believe. So Higher Music is Jay Park's label. So the whole album has people from his label, such as Jay Park himself, PH1, Woody Gochild, Sick. They're very popular in like the K-hip-hop, K-R&B genre. And as I just kind of said in the last section, it's not my wheelhouse. I know people who love this stuff, and I will say, as someone who doesn't particularly reach out for this genre or put it on my playlist, I thought there were some good hits on this album. I can acknowledge that it's good. if this is the style that you really like. But it's still not for me, and I don't see myself wanting to buy it. I'm not buying it. I am glad I gave it a shot. I normally would not have listened to this, but because I do this video, I listen to it, and I'm happy for that. That's like my favorite part of doing these videos, is listening to stuff that I probably wouldn't have listened to in the first place. Because I kind of hate just going, I'm not buying this because I didn't listen to it. Because that doesn't seem fair. I like to give things a fair shot. I give things fair shots on my channel, okay? Oh, we're getting close. Okay, I'm gonna be real for a second. Everything from here on out is boys. And if you're familiar with me and my channel, I am primarily a girl group stan. It's gonna be a lot of me going, I didn't buy this because it's standard boy group, and I really apologize, but it's not my cup of tea. Next up is KNK Airline. I am happy to see that KNK is still thriving, or they're still alive. I don't know if they're necessarily thriving, but they're still alive. So that's good. My note for this. As I just kind of just said, before this, I think I made the mistake of listening to too much at once, and it all began to blend in. It was a lot of boy group sounds all at once, or just sounds that's not really my taste, and I really just wanted to take a break. So I don't think I have anything to really necessarily say about K&K. I don't own any of their albums or previous releases. I do listen to their stuff. There was one song I liked by them. It was like the Runway Music song. Oh, that was a good one. They just had an unfortunate spot in the playlist of things I had to listen to. I'm so sorry. Treasure, the First Step, Chapter 2. YG is really just trying to milk out this debut, which I guess they kind of do in general. And you know what? I can't hate that. I can't hate, you're getting as many, songs out that you can, and you're getting physicals for them. That's something they should have done with Blackpink, because they would have made so much money with that. Whatever, make your money, YG. I will not be buying these. They have 2 songs on them, and there's 2 versions, and no. I am also not a huge YG stan. I do like Big Bang. Specifically, I like G-Dragon. I kind of have a sucker taste for some YG boy groups sometimes, but Treasure doesn't quite fit that. I will say I liked the last release more than this. Ghostnine pre-episode 1, Door. So I was really looking forward to Ghostnine. They had such an interesting kind of pre-debut plan or promotion. They had this kind of comic cartoon element to them, which I think is a pretty cool idea. And it worked in that I knew who they were because of this. And then the other thing was the aesthetic of the packaging was really cool to me. This image of, or just the color story of it all, I really gravitated towards. So I had some hype for this. I remember when this came out, I was a little disappointed in that it wasn't, I think I got maybe a little too excited of what this could be, and I was like, just another, it's just more of the same. But because I listened to so many men during this anti-haul, this was actually so refreshing to listen to, and I like this so much more on my second listen, and I'm intrigued again about this group because they aren't just standard K-pop boy group. I don't know, they have some interesting stuff going on. I don't think I'm gonna be buying this, but I look forward to their next stuff, and I might buy something in the future. I don't know, we'll see. BDC, The Intersection, Belief. This was definitely one of the better boy group stuff that I think I listened to. Like I said, there was such a pit of just boy groups that aren't my style of boy groups, and it was a little rough getting through. If you can empathize with that in any kind of way, just think of the kind of K-pop you don't normally listen to and imagine listening to that for over an hour, multiple hours, really. That was kind of what I went through, and I was really trying to listen to it with ears. Dump should have been the title track. I don't think it was, and it should have been the title track. Because I remember listening to that and I was like, whoa, all right, we in this. We got a good boy group. I'm here for it. And then the rest of the album, I was like, okay. But that was great. I am intrigued by them. We'll see what happens. I say that often, I guess. It's my nice way of saying I didn't quite care for this, but there was something to like. I don't know. Is this another X1 group? I really can't. I feel like there's been so many new boy groups. I cannot keep track. Up tension, light up. Oh wait, sorry, I'm ahead of myself. H&D umbrella. This is like almost $40. So no, not buying this. It's also 2 songs. It's some kind of special album. Now, these guys, I don't know if it's X1, but Produce X 101. They're part of that. I know they had a release in the past, but I think this is their last one as like this subunit thing, and then they're gonna debut in a group. Is it Way? I'm really trying my best to like know this stuff. I'm so sorry. This is not my forte. This is not my element. It has that KHHK R&B feel. So if that's what you're into, you might really like this. As I have said a few times now, that is not my particular taste in K-pop. So it wasn't necessarily that it was bad, but it was not my style, not my taste. Did not quench my palate. That's not the phrase, but you know what I mean. Now, attention, light up. I kind of liked this. I don't remember any Attention songs. I know I've listened to Attention, and there is like this group of groups that I kind of group up, and Attention is one of those groups of like, I know people like them, but I don't quite necessarily seek them out. I haven't really put in this time or energy to like really look into them. And I liked this release. A huge part of that is because one of the vocalists reminded me of Hui from Pentagon, and I love Pentagon. So if I get any kind of Pentagon vibes, I'm a little intrigued. I'm pretty sure I like this more than their previous stuff, but like I said, I don't remember their previous stuff too well, but I'll check it out. Overall decent. I don't think there are any necessary like standouts, and I guess you can probably assume I do not have any Attention stuff in my collection, so there's not quite a reason I would buy this. So we've made it to the last album. Woo! It's another boy group. Super M Super 1. Putting the book down. We need to talk. I bought too many versions of the last Super M album. I like the members of Super M. I hate the idea of Super M. I actually had full intention of buying this album. I was gonna buy it at Target. I went to Target to buy it and it wasn't there, and that was me going, you know what? Maybe it's not meant to be. I don't know. Maybe if I see it in Target at a later time, I might buy it. I don't think I'm going to be ordering it from online and having it shipped to me. Ugh. part of me doesn't want to support Super M. Mostly because I really want SM to focus on, for one, Red Velvet, because Red Velvet's like my favorite group. Type with Oh My Girl, of course. And I would love SM to debut a new girl group. Also, Taeyoung and Mark have NCT, and Lucas and Ten. They have NCT 2020 to focus on. Like, this is, and Taemin just had a solo comeback. Like, this didn't need to happen. And Kai's supposed to have a solo debut at some point soon. Like, Super M always just kind of rubs me the wrong way a bit. I know K-pop in general is a whole, like, money-making thing, but this was so, like, and, you know what? I'm not giving it to you. For now, at least. We'll see what happens. I can't make promises that I'm not going to end up buying this in the future. We're almost done. I can never finish the last. So that is it for the albums. I have two special things that are not albums, though technically one of them is an album, so I'll talk about that. Something that was announced this month was the BTS School Love Affair Deluxe Edition is coming back in print. This is one of the famous, like, rare K-pop items that has been known to sell for like $200+. And I am so sorry for anyone who had to pay $200 to buy this, because now you can get it for $40. I am so conflicted on this one because I have wanted this. I used to be a huge BTS fan back when I started collecting, and this was something I knew I wanted in my collection, and I've just kind of grown to accept I won't ever have it. And I am having conflicting feelings about this because, I mean, I do have the normal School Love Affair album, and there's just something that, when something becomes out of print and it's a limited edition thing, I feel like it should stay like that. There's something that always feels wrong to me of, like, bringing it back in print, but I understand if people want it, you know, give the people what they want. But I get conflicted with this. But that being said, this is still like $40, and I don't want to pay $40. That's still a lot of money. A lot less than $200. That I was never going to pay $200 for this. I do think it's really nice that people who collect BTS can finally get this for a reasonable price. I have a lot of conflicting feelings about this, but I don't think I'm going to do it because I have backed off on collecting BTS. Like, I don't buy multiple versions. I don't get, like, season greetings or the special DVDs. I can't even say if this had been like, oh, this is the new album and this is the deluxe version, that I would be buying this, because right now they are doing that. They have a new album coming out and they're selling the deluxe version, and it's like $40, and I really have a hard time wanting to buy that for that much. And it sucks. It's weird because I loved BTS back in the day, and I still really like BTS, but my collection heart isn't quite there in the money sense that it used to be. I don't know how to describe it, but that's my honest thoughts. Okay, and the other, like, extra merch thing, even though I know I just talked about an album, this is an actual merch thing that I really want to talk about that just got announced, is the KDA light stick. If you haven't heard of KDA, it's because it's not really this K-pop group. It's through League of Legends, and Soyeon from G-Idol is in it. I really like League of Legends. This actually isn't all the League of Legends stuff that I own. I collect figures. I even have the Akali KDA figure because I really love League of Legends, and to have this K-pop, like, collab is really cool. Okay, Meow Kai, you're gonna get off my shoulder. Also, it's a cat. It's a Meow Kai. It's Meow Kai. Sorry. I love League of Legends merch. I think they do such a phenomenal job at their merchandising, and the fact that they're having KDA have a membership and a light stick is so freaking cool, and I am eating it up. Eating it up. I don't think I would do the membership, but I would totally get a light stick. However, it doesn't follow my lightstick rules. Remember my lightstick rules. Has to be an ult, and I would have to see them live. It fails both of those. There is no reason to buy this except for that I buy League of Legends merch, and it's a League of Legends K-pop crossover. It's also really cheap for a lightstick. It's only $40, which is still a lot of money, but it's cheaper than the $50, $60 lightsticks that I usually would have to buy. Ash, what should I do? Anyway, that is the end of my anti-haul. This went on long enough. I've been trying to cut these down, but it is so hard because there's so many releases, and I've been trying to budget and stop myself from buying stuff. And I don't want to leave groups out necessarily. I mean, if you make it this far and you just think I shouldn't bother talking about some groups that like are so obvious that I'm not going to buy, you know, please let me know if it's better for me to just talk about stuff that I'm really conflicted on. I think about this every time, but I do want to give everyone a fair shot, and I do enjoy listening to stuff that I would not have listened to otherwise. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Please, I was gonna say like and subscribe, but I don't like doing that stuff. But you know, if you feel like liking and subscribing, I won't stop you. Also, the League of Legends World Championships going on, so you know, you should check that out. I don't have any affiliation with Riot, but I just like League of Legends. And I really need to buy more figures. I mean, I want to buy more figures. I don't need to buy them. I also really want to buy the Meow Kai pajama set. I need to make money. Anyway, that's the end of the video. I don't have a problem, and I'm not going to buy more stuff. I'm not going to spend more money. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye!